Okay, so I'm here with PFL lightweight Laura Sanchez. Laura, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How has training been going? Because PFL this season kicking off on April 23rd. How's everything going?
Everything's going great. Training is fun. Of course, we have the hard times, pushing ourselves to exhaustion. But honestly, I love training. I love MMA, so I've been having a good time, just getting better.
You were initially supposed to be joining the PFL last season, weren't you? Before
Hmm.
everything happened, COVID, they shut down for the season. So how
Yes,
has this extra time? Obviously, you've had shutdowns and things, but how has this extra time allowed you to prepare even further?
it's given me, the opportunity to just really enjoy getting better. I was blessed to keep stay signed with PFL, so I didn't have to worry about what was going to happen after COVID. So I knew that they were going to pick up in 2021. So I just took the opportunity to get better. The whole environment at Rufus Sport when we had our training sessions was just, it was more of fun, and we were trying new things and adding new tools to our arsenal. So I really got to just make big improvements. So even my last fight, as being my pro debut, that's nothing compared to what I've turned into right now.
How do you feel about coming into such a big organization at 1-0? Do you obviously, I'm sure in your mind you feel you're ready, but do you think that like the pressure might be a bit more on you in your mind because of this? Or
I have no pressure. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm doing what I love and what I enjoy, which is a big blessing. So the fact that I'm 1-0 and people don't really know who I am, that's okay. There's actually no pressure with that. There might be pressure if everybody knew me and everybody expected me to win and had all these high expectations. But at the end of the day, I don't really think about any of that because I have the experience of training with the best team in the world, in my humble opinion. So um, I was always getting ready for fights and training with guys who made me work every day. So yeah, I'm 1-0 as a pro, but it's that number is going to get bigger.
talk a little bit about your background because you played Division One basketball, didn't you?
Yes, I played ball basically since I can remember. Um, so I earned a Division 1 scholarship at Western Carolina. Then after that, I was working to go professional. So I made a semi-pro team in Michigan, and then a pro tour team in Alabama. But they were both new teams, so they struggled getting on their feet, and so it was hard to take off from there. So the door kind of just shut on basketball, but it gave me the opportunity to get into MMA, which I'd actually wanted to do before I played ball. So
So you say you want to do that. What first drew your attention to martial arts and MMA?
I've just always been drawn to it. So when I was little, I watched all the martial arts films and would attempt those moves. And my brother, who's actually only like 15 months older than me, we used to watch those movies, and then we used to get really excited and try them on each other, and then got in trouble because one of us always got hurt.
Who are your favorites? What were your favorite movies?
Well, obviously I watched Karate Kid. Everybody knows Karate Kid. Um, there's a movie, Kiss of the Dragon. And then Little Ninjas. I watch that all the time. And then I haven't seen that in so long. And then recently I had like my niece and my nephews throw that on randomly, and I was like, oh my god, like the nostalgia. So I mean, I watch whatever.
Yeah. You mentioned Karate Kid there. Are you on the Cobra Kai
Hmm.
train or not?
I started it, and then
Yeah.
I didn't continue watching it, but I think I'm gonna try to pick back up on
All
it.
right.
I've heard a lot of good things.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving back to PFL, obviously season
Mhm.
starts on April 23rd. Do you know when you're going to be fighting yet?
May 6th.
May 6th.
Yeah, the women are starting May 6th.
Cool. Do you know your opponent yet? Obviously, you might not be able to say, but
No, I don't know my
you
opponent
don't
yet.
know. All right.
No.
Cool. Talk to me about the training environment at Rufus Sport. You mentioned it earlier. You said it's one of the best, or you said the best team in the world, in your opinion. Talk to me about that environment.
We're under Duke, who's a legend. They don't call him the legendary Duke Rufus for nothing. So, someone like him who is already knows so much about MMA, like he's not just a striker. The man understands martial arts. He understands the ground game. body control and how to just, move against your opponents. So the thing with him though is he's always learning more, even with, how experienced he is. And I've said it before to people where I used to watch him hold pads for Anthony and Eric and other big names in Rufus sport, and that was before I was able to join the MMA team. I had just gotten there and just started some of the training, and he would walk onto the mat with them and be like, "Hey, let me show you this new move I learned." And it's like, so someone who's our leader at Rufus Sport is always learning and passing that knowledge down to us. So I love that. It's not necessarily like a know-it-all personality, more as let's learn this and just keep getting better. And then on top of that, I look at the teammates that I have. I am blessed to work with some of the top guys in the world, the Pettis brothers, Manny Sanchez, who's actually in the Bellator Grand Prix for the featherweights. I also have a couple teammates who I know are going to get onto the big scene. Rafian Stats, who's a wrestler. So I have teammates who are strikers, who are, the jiu-jitsu guys, and then who are wrestlers. So I have the best of everything.
So you mentioned some big names, obviously. Are you working with these guys regularly? Because I talked to some guys from big camps and they're like, oh, I work with this guy and this guy, but there's obviously a lot more guys there. Are you working with everyone on, be it sparring or in weight cuts or things like that?
So I work with them in the sparring. The one that I probably work least with is Anthony, because he goes to the pro practices, which are earlier in the day, and I have a full-time job, so I end up going to training after work. I'm going there after this. So the thing is, like, when I do have the opportunity to train with him, I still pick his brain and get whatever knowledge I can. I've worked with Sergio a little bit more. Manny Sanchez is someone that I work with a lot, who's a really good training partner for me. Rafian as well. So I pick his brain a lot about the wrestling, and so I work with a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned Emmanuel Sanchez there fighting Pitbull soon as well.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
And you mentioned Anthony Pettis, excuse me.
Yeah.
He's now with you in PFL as well.
Yep.
How exciting is that for you to like look up to someone who's obviously one of the biggest names in your camp, but also in the organization?
Yeah, he's a legend already. He's already, been the champion, fought some of the bigger names, and like his resume speaks for itself. So now he's coming over to PFL, and it was kind of surprising. He had his last fight in UFC and suddenly he signed with PFL. But now, I respect him a lot, and I see a lot of his accomplishments and just his mindset with, training and really just enjoying martial arts again. I mean, he's spoken about it himself, just trying to turn the page and just enjoy what he's doing. And I think that PFL is going to provide that for him. So I'm really excited. Someone who's big like him, a legend, is coming over to PFL, and PFL is growing rapidly.
And you've got a good mix of UFC guys, PFL guys, Bellator guys in that camp as well, haven't you?
Yep. Yeah, we have a good mixture.
Yeah. So obviously they're in the women's lightweight division. What do you make about some of the other girls in that division? Obviously the biggest names you've got Kayla Harrison, and then Clarissa Shields is gonna fit into there somewhere. We're not really sure where yet.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Yeah, that's a little confusing. Well, I know that everybody's concentrated on those two bigger names, but you can't really overlook everybody else. Yes, they're Olympic champions and people know their accomplishments, but we have other women who are like Muay Thai champions. I'm the Gamma World champion from 2019. So we all have our accomplishments. So, I'm not really just looking at those two big names. I'm ready for everybody. So if I look at them, I'm thinking about their styles instead of just everything.
So I've got all the names here. We'll go through them. Just give me quick thoughts on all the other people in the division. So we'll start with Kayla Harrison, obviously, since she's a champion.
Yeah, she's a grappler. She's a champion. Yeah.
Yeah. Just go through them quickly.
I'll be honest. These questions, they're going to be quite simple because it's like I'm looking at them the same.
So we've got Cindy Dandois, Larissa Pacheco, who's a UFC vet, Gina Fabian, Mariana Moraes, Elena Kolesnik, and Julia Pajic. Obviously, you're going to be fighting one of those soon, and then further on, we'll be fighting more. So I guess looking to this first fight, what one of those matchups do you possibly think apart from say Kayla, the bigger name, what do you
Yeah.
think is a beneficial matchup to you, but will also put your name higher on the card, if you will?
If I'm being honest, it doesn't really matter to me who I face. Because at the end of the day, I am striving to be the best. So I want to beat the best. And the best right now is obviously the current champ. And then that's who we see as the best. But then again, like I said, we have the rest of us in here who any of us can win this. So I don't care who I face. I'm gonna put it on them anytime I step in there, and that's all there is to it. And then move on to the next and win the belt.
You mentioned your amateur career over with Gamma as well. Talk to me about
Yeah,
those fights
yeah,
in Singapore.
those were exciting.
Yeah.
The whole experience was unforgettable. So I didn't really know what to expect from any of the girls that I was facing. Didn't know anything about their backgrounds. I just knew kind of like, certain countries were known for certain styles. Like they said Ukraine was known for their wrestling and their ground game, and then other countries were known for striking, and then other people were like, really strict with Muay Thai. So I mean, honestly, I just went in there and just did what I knew I could do. And I kind of read them, and I just took it as it came. So I faced them, saw how they moved, and just read and saw what I could do to them. So that's how I approached them.
But that experience fighting in such a different culture as well, that's got to be
Yeah,
a good learning experience, hasn't it? So early in your career.
definitely. Singapore is a beautiful place. The only other place that I've been to outside of the country is Mexico. And it was to a resort. So I didn't really get to see other cultures. Actually, I went to Costa Rica when I was
Right.
really little. So it's like I was really excited about being able to travel, and it's such a beautiful place. The people there are just nice, and I couldn't really say enough. I want to go back a lot.
Yeah, so obviously after that Gamma fight over in Singapore, you then went pro in the
Hmm.
States. How? Because obviously after that pro fight, you obviously forced into this long break due to the shutdown and
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah.
How does that affect your mindset? Because like you're on a good run, you've won the Gamma, you've won your pro debut, you're looking to kick on, and then everything stops.
It doesn't affect my mindset at all. I'm used to my fights not working out. My whole amateur career, I had like a year in between each fight most of the time. And I kept getting ready for fights that weren't happening. So I was used to that actually. So when I found out that we were being postponed, yeah, I was disappointed because I was like, I thought I was finally going to be able to get on a run. But at the end of the day, I think that my previous experience with the fights not working out is just making the best of every situation that you're dealt. Like if you're going to concentrate on negatives and let it affect you negatively, what's really going to come from that? So I just looked at it as the opportunity to keep getting better, just like I did previously when the fights just weren't working out. So I just kept training and getting better. And like I said, I had a lot of growth this last year. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Good. And now obviously more prepared, 1 year
Yes.
extra prepared to
Yes.
go into PFL as well. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think of the format of PFL with the season?
I like it. It's interesting because no one else is really doing it. So we get to have a lot of fights. You don't have to wonder when you're going to fight next, and try to fight to find out who's going to fight for a title, and like wait your turn. You
Yeah.
literally have to earn your way to the title. Just keep winning. So
Do
I'm
you think?
excited about
Yeah.
that.
Do you think that format is like a? Do you think that's part of the reason that guys like Anthony Pettis attempted to go over to PFL?
Maybe. You know, I think that at that age, like in his career, I don't know, he could have his different reasons. Maybe because he was with UFC so long, maybe he wanted to try something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really speak for him, but sometimes if you see that maybe you have another opportunity elsewhere that you just want to try, and because now, like I said, his career is set in stone, so now he's just doing what he thinks is going to make him happy.
Um. So we've talked a lot about MMA. What do you like to do away from the cage?
I'm boring because outside of that, I work. I have a full-time job, and then I train every night, and the weekends, I guess, to try to do something different. I like movies and I like to hang out. I like to chill because I'm so busy running and gunning all week. So
Yeah.
call me boring, but I got some stuff I want to get done in my life.
All right. So end of the PFL season, what's the goal? Obviously, the goal is to win the season, but
Mhm.
maybe away from like such an obvious thing. What is the goal for Laura Sanchez this season?
I want to be the best. I'm excited to finally get fights. It's something I've been working for a long time since I joined the MMA team, and so I'm looking forward to just the opportunity to get fight after fight and get into a rhythm, become a champion, win that $1 million, and buy me a house. I need a house, and then just I don't know. You don't really know what to expect after that, except I don't plan to just do a bunch of different things. Like I don't want to lose sight. Like you can see that happen to some fighters. I just want to keep getting better and truly study martial arts like I've been doing. So win and then go back and do it again.
Good. All right. Want to thank you for the time today, Laura. Where can people keep up with you and see what you're doing?
You can follow me on Instagram, Laura Sanchez MMA, and then I also have a fan page on Facebook.
Cool. Thanks for the time again today. PFL starts April 23rd. Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.